So, John, I need an update. They're in the cold greenhouse. They're doing all right. I got, but I had a bit of a disaster, like a lot of people on the plot. I lost the vast majority, dozens of them. But I think it's a bit extravagant to put over your allotment to sort of like 20 massive onions. So yeah, like last year I concentrated on 5, and I've got 5 this year, but that's the only 5 I've got. So hopefully they're the best genetically out of the seeds, and we'll see how we get there. Pretty soon I'm going to be putting them out in the garden, actually out there in the wild to take their chances. So that's two variety of peas there. You've got alderman, which are the leggy ones. They're not actually leggy. They are leggy because they grow 2 meters tall. But they are alderman, and they're really big croppers, main crop. And the one over here is an earlier crop, a really short one. Doesn't produce as much, but it is quick and dirty. And so they do two completely different purposes. That's been successful. As you can see, there's quite a good germination rate, but I'll show you what happened over here. So here, this is the same early pea, and they've nearly all been dug up by mice. And I think the caging that I put over the top, I think that protected the mice from things like foxes and so on. They were probably underneath their cage, looking up the foxes, going like this, knowing full well the foxes couldn't get hold of them. And it's also there's a lot of cover around here. I don't know, it's a nice spiky plant, that artichoke, and it's a good place to hide for mice. Whereas over here, and there's been no mice damage at all. So yes, curious what happened here, but but you can see I'll show you the holes better. You can see where they've been. You can see where their little paws have been digging, and I don't mind. They're nice, they're very little creatures, but it gives me that was going to be a nice early start. Well, this bit, it'll be fine. I can grow plenty of peas out of what's left, especially the few remainders from over here. I'll transplant them over here, but certainly over here I've got to plant something else there, and I've got plenty of things to go in, so cauliflowers and so on. But the best laid plans of mice and men. So if you remember back in January, I made up a couple of pots with one early potato in each on the 16th of January. It is now the 20th of April, and they went enormous straight away in the living room, right up until the beginning of March when they came out here. They were potted up to these 10-litre pots, or two 10-litre pots, one God knows what it is, probably 5-litre pot, and yeah, so they're probably coming to an end soon. They're normally about 90 days, but it would have been, I've learned from experience that the 90 days isn't enough. You can see, especially on the internet, you can see people harvesting at 90 days and not getting anything. So we'll I'll wait till 100 days, so that'll be in a few days' time, and then do one of these pots, and if it's not very good, I'll leave the rest until they die back. We'll see whether or not it was worthwhile. It was interesting, it was nice doing it. I enjoyed doing it. It was something to do in the winter. But the last 90 days have been pretty bad days, apart from the last half or so. But we'll see how we get on. But if you were wondering what happened to them, that's they were in tiny pots, like 1 litre pots, and they just shot up to 1 metre tall straight away. So I don't recommend doing more than 3 in your living room. Yeah.